Hey, what's up guys? Jay with Solo YGO. Welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh if you're new, and welcome to Edison format if you're new. Today we got the hero beat strategy right here for you guys. This is the obviously alias heavy variant, the only way to play it. And we have a full main and extra deck for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe, like the video. We also do goat format and Tengu plant format here, so be on the lookout for those if you guys like other alternate formats. And let's get straight into the deck profile. Alright, so for the main deck, we have 3 Elemental Hero Neos Alias. This is the main card of the deck. Almost everything revolves around him. The fact that he's a light plays into Honest. The fact that he's a Gemini plays into Gemini Spark. The fact that he's a warrior plays into Rhoda. The fact that he's an Elemental Hero plays into E Emergency Call and Miracle Fusion. So he is the centerpiece. He's 1900 attack. He's no joke. He's really good. So you need to max on him, play 3 of him. You have the 1 Stratos. It's limited to 1. This is probably the best generic hero in the format. It's going to allow you to add alias or pop back row, which is really good. And as well as being just another name to banish in the graveyard for Miracle Fusion. You want to prioritize banishing both Stratos and Ocean before you go into your aliases, because you need this for Hero Blast, and you also need it for Call of the Hunted, and you also need to preserve him just in general because he is the centerpiece of the deck. But don't hesitate to banish him if you need to get your Absolute Zero out. But in general, you want to prioritize banishing these first. These are the only 5 names in the deck. We do play some consistency cards for them. We play 3E and a Rhoda. I know what you're saying. 5 search targets for 4 searchers. It's kind of an unequal ratio, but trust me, you need to see alias. If you don't see alias, you're going to have a very bad day. He's the centerpiece of the deck, so that's why we play 4 searchers with only 5 targets. I'd rather you have extra of these in your hands as pseudo bricks, maybe just baiting out Heavy Storm or MSTs with them, than to not see him at all, because that's a much worse day. You can at least play in that case. Alright, so that's it for the heroes and the cards to search the heroes. You got 9 of them in here. For the remainder of the monsters, we have our 2 Geminis that are not named Neos Alias and are not a hero. We have Crusader of Endymion. He's a 1900 beater. He's a light and he's a Gemini. So he does everything Alias does aside from being searchable and aside from being a hero. He's live with Gemini Spark and he's live with Honest, and he's a beater. You don't have a crazy amount of monsters in this deck, so not only do we play him, but we also play 2 Cyber Dragon. It's a beater and it's a light. You want to have enough bodies to still maintain a win condition if they go through your hero engine, which is probable. This deck is really good. I don't want to undersell the actual power level of this deck, but we do have to have a fallback plan, and these are very good cards in the format. Having main deck outs to machine decks, which are really good in the format, also feels very nice. Game 1, you're not waiting for that post side to sack him with a Cyber Dragon. You got it right away. And to round off the actually, let's get into these first, then we'll show off the engine. And then for the card we've been mentioning so much, Honest, card's absolutely crazy. We have a lot of lights in this deck with Alias, Cyber Dragon, and Crusader. So those 7 guys, you have 2 Honest for them. Cards just sacks really hard, allows you to get over even bigger stuff. We're a beat deck, so this is really good. And showing Threat of Honest feels very nice. Alright. Next up, we have the Water Engine. We have 3 Diva and 2 Spine Gilman. So the waters in this deck, I already showed this card, so if you're writing down your deck list, don't add this one again. We got the 1 Ocean, we already showed it off. And then we have 3 Diva and 2 Spine Gilman. So you have a total of 6 waters. You have 6 waters for Absolute Zero. And then also having multiple Spine Gilman. Like I said, that's mostly just for the extra water count. And then you'll see once we get to the extra deck, we're playing an extra heavy lineup of Synchro 5s. So you guys know what those cards do. Diva is insane. And Absolute Zero is insane. So being able to mix water with heroes just feels very nice. All right, for the spells, we have 3 Gemini Spark. This card's absolutely busted. No exaggeration whatsoever. It's a quick play spell that allows you to tribute 1 face-up Gemini monster you control, to select and destroy 1 card on the field, and then not only do you get to do that, but you get to draw a card. This card is crazy. So it goes neutral between losing this and losing your alias, and then popping their card and drawing a card. So, but it allows you to dodge stuff that could potentially make you a plus if you're drawing out like a D Prison or a Bottomless or whatever, Mere Force, whatever it may be. Gemini Spark's a crazy good card, and it always feels good resolving this. Really big fan of Gemini Spark. And then for another crazy card, we have Miracle Fusion. Yeah, Absolute Zero is one of the best boss monsters in Edison format. And just have a 1 card slap down extender, 1 card slap down, go get another beater. It's kind of crazy. The heroes in this format are really good. And to round it off, we have 1 Future Fusion, being able to load up the grave to get an Absolute Zero if they can't out it, as well as just make a Miracle Fusion go live instantly is really good. Also, if you have like Call of the Haunted or something, you could dump your alias to get alias on board. But hopefully you can get alias. We have a lot of consistency cards in this deck to get to it, and it is a tight 40 card list. All right, next up, for the last of the spells, we have 1 Heavy Storm and 1 Mystical Space Typhoon. You just want to go aggressive on your opponent. You could play Giant Trinade as well instead of Heavy Storm, or instead of MST. I'd rather do it probably instead of Heavy Storm, if I'm being honest. I like MST for the end phase, getting ready stuff before it can go live. I think quick plays are just really good cards in game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you love quick plays, this is a great deck to do it with Gemini Spark. All right, that's it for the spells. Next up for the traps, guys, we have a lot of them. We don't have a huge engine, so we have to play a lot of non-engine in this deck. I know that's a weird concept to think about in Edison format, but it is true. We have 3 D Prison. You want to be able to stop stuff. This deck does have the potential to brick. We play a lot of consistency cards to hopefully prevent that. However, you want to have enough cards just to help you stay alive. D Prison's really good. D Prison's obviously insane against most decks. It's insane against this deck. Being able to banish alias is really good. And on the same train of thought, we have 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. That's really good for defense. Another defense, we have a Mere Force. And then we have the 1-ofs. Obviously, the Mere Force limited 1 as well. We have 1 Torrential Tribute, 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Starlight Road, and for the hero specific cards, we have 1 Hero Blast. So let's talk about them briefly. Call of the Haunted is really necessary in this deck, in my opinion. Not having too many names for heroes. This allows you to basically have a pseudo 4th copy of Alias. That's what I like to use it for. Obviously, you're going to use it if you need to use it regardless. Synchro plays, extension, bringing back a Stratos to pop spells or traps. Tons of implications with it, so Call of the Hunt is really good. Bringing back a tuner, Diva, going to another synchro play. It's necessary for this deck. The 1 Starlight Road, you don't want to see multiples of it. You'd rather not see it than see multiples. But based on how much back row we're playing, 1 Starlight Road is good. It's also just generic protection. So you can also, stop like a Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, not just protecting your back row. So that's really good. And then the 1 Hero Blast, it's basically another copy of Alias again, as well as a little bit of defense. You don't want to run too many of these because this is how you're going to brick. Imagine you don't see Alias or anything to search it, but you see 2 of these. That's a really bad day. So you want to play 1 copy. I don't think 2 is incorrect, but 1 is preference for me. Please don't play 3. 3 would be way too many. That's it for the main deck, guys. Let's go over the extra deck. Alright, like I said, we have 2 Gilman and 3 Diva. So we're a Synchro 5 heavy lineup. We have 2 Catastor and 2 Android. Obviously, you probably won't go into more than 1 or 2. That's why you just have 2 of each for options. If you use all these, I'm sorry, but I think this is just generally correct. You have your 6s. You can make that with Diva plus 1 of your 4s. You play a lot of 4s. You play, obviously, Alias, Stratos, Crusader, Vendemion. and Honest, worst case scenario. So you can go into level 6s. These are the 2 generically best in the game. You can go into level 7. We only play 1 though because it's a more niche kind of thing. But it's Cyber Dragon plus Diva. So we're only going to use up 1 slot for that. Black Rose being obviously the best. You have the 1 Stardust Dragon. We play Starlight Road. You can also make this by going level 6 Synchro plus Diva. But more than likely it's your Starlight Road. But it is the best level 8 in general. So we'll take up 1 slot for that. Level 9, that's pretty easy to make for this deck. It's one of your level 4s plus Diva summoning Gilman. So Diva plus summoning Gilman is 5, and then plus 1 of your level 4s is 9. This card's insane. Sometimes you almost want to run 2 copies, but it doesn't come up all the time. I think 1's just fine. If it came up twice, you'll have to write it off as just being a very niche scenario that doesn't justify you playing 2 moving forward. But 1 for sure, you want to have that slot available. 3 Absolute Zero. Between the 1 Future Fusion and 3 Miracle Fusion, this is the primary one you want to make, so you want to definitely have all 3 available, just in case. Card's crazy, obviously. It does suck that he doesn't get his ability if he's Book of Moon or anything like that. Just one ruling to know for the format. If he leaves face down, he doesn't pop the field. It has to be face up when he leaves the field, whether that being going to the extra deck, the banish, or the graveyard. But Absolute Zero is an absolute problem, and he does gain attack based off of Gilman and Diva, so remember that. He gains attack for every other water on the field. I guess Elemental Hero Ocean as well. And then for the last one, we have Gaia. We don't play any Earths in our deck. We don't play any cards to steal cards from opponents. We only play 1 Earth in the extra deck, not the main deck. So it's only if you have a YUGIOH. If you're banishing a YUGIOH plus a hero, you can make Gaia. Just niche scenario, that's why we're only playing 1. And then we do play 2 Cyber Dragons in the main, so we have 2 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Like I said, we are main decking strong against machines, just because it also inherently helps us having Cyber Dragon, and then also that plays into light strategy with Honest. Cyber Dragon as well is also very good because generally it's a good card for baiting out Bottomless Trap Hole. Bottomless Trap Hole, a Cyber Dragon, is good value. But if they know what they need to hit, they need to wait for the alias. But it feels good hitting a Cyber Dragon. So for us, that's kind of like bait, per se. You want to bait out those Bottomless Trap Holes. But yeah, that's it for the profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative. If you have any changes or recommendations you want to let me know about, put them in the comments down below. We do Edison on the channel, Goat, Tengu Plant, pretty much everything. So yeah, we'll see you in the future with an update of this deck and then many more Edison decks to come. Peace out.